Hey everybody, it's Joshua Fields Milburn from the Minimalists. Welcome back to Living Room Conversations. We're in my living room here in Los Angeles. And today's question, oh boy, this is a good one. Julie asks, why doesn't minimalism have any color, style, or personality? Actually, this is sort of an amalgamation of two questions, but Julie, I'm giving you the credit on this one. Well, first off, I reject the premise of this question because I'm not against color whatsoever. What I'm against is, I guess you could call it discoloration. I think sometimes we feel the need to overindulge in everything, and part of that means just filling a space with loud colors everywhere. And of course, when you think about noise, you think about like a loud Metallica concert or something. It's just noise all the time, and you go there for that particular setting, and you understand what's going to happen while you're there. But if that type of noise were around you all the time, it would be overwhelming. And I feel the same way about color. I'm certainly not against color. If you want to wear bright orange or bright purple, I know my 5-year-old Ella, who you can follow on Twitter, by the way. She's at Ella Sandwich. I also did a video with her, I think it was last week on Living Room Conversations. But she certainly loves wearing these purple, flowery dresses, and I'm all for it. Whatever your preferences and desires are, I think that's great. I think the nice thing about minimalism, it allows us to be comfortable with the silence. And sometimes that means visual silence as well, stripping down the excess. I'm in a fairly simple living room right now. In fact, you can hear a slight echo in here because, well, our family doesn't own a lot of stuff. But the stuff we own reflects our personal taste. Now, if your personal taste means color all over the place and you want this wall right here to be green instead of white, then go for it. The question is, are you doing that deliberately? Are you doing that intentionally? Because if not, then that's not an expression of personality or style at all. That's just following someone else's pattern, right? And so for me, the beauty about minimalism is within the bones. The bones of a thing are the beauty. I look at a space like this, and it's relatively simple, but it's also intentional in the sense that when you bring a few items in, they have to work within that space, or at least they do for me, because then it feels cluttered, and once you start to go down that path, I should say, once you go down that path, then you feel like I need to add something else to sort of balance out the clutter on this side of the room. But maybe we can just be comfortable in an empty room. And then once we're comfortable in that empty room, we can bring in things that augment our experience of life, that enhance our experience of life, that amplify our experience of life. And when we do that, we end up with things that we use, but also things that bring us joy. Yes, I will do a home tour eventually. You'll get to see there are a few pictures on the wall, and there are little splotches of color throughout. In fact, if you went into Ella's room, we just had her 5th birthday. She's got balloons and all kinds of other stuff that, well, it's still a relatively simple room for a 5-year-old, but her preferences are slightly different from mine. Now, of course, I get to manage her preferences so things don't get out of control. If it were up to her, everything in the house would be purple, I think. And so the question for me ends up being, what are the things that add value to my life? What serves a purpose? What has a function, right? And what brings me joy? And if color all over, if you want to wear bright colors every day, that brings you joy, then so be it. Just do it deliberately. Do it with intention. Otherwise, why not strip down to a really basic palette of monochrome or black and white, and then add color as necessary? Sometimes people ask us about our website, theminimalists.com, and they're like, why is it all in black and white? In fact, we use these old sort of photos as well for our blog posts and essays and podcasts. And they're like, well, where is the color? And my response every time to folks who go to our website and say, why is it all in black and white? Where is the color? I'll say the color is in the words. And so for you, where is the color in your life? For me, it has a lot more to do with the experience. My life is colored with meaningful experiences, and I don't need a purple background to prove it. All right, y'all. If you like these conversations, you can subscribe. I'm giving more answers. I've got guests with me. Ryan has done quite a few of these with me. And then, of course, TK Coleman came on. We answered a question about quitting your job. And we're bringing other people on as well. Trying to make these as informal as possible. Just turning on the camera and starting to talk, answer the questions that you all have submitted. And if you have a question, you can submit it in the comments below. And if you're in the South, Ryan and I are actually going on something called a Simply Southern tour. If you want to come out and hang out with us, ask us some questions. We're bringing some special guests with us. We're going to be in Birmingham and Louisville and Nashville in July of 2018. We're going to have some special guests from Dave Ramsey's team. We're going to be talking about money and minimalism. So we'll bring Rachel Cruz out. We're going to bring Chris Hogan out and Anthony O'Neill in each of those 3 cities. And you can find all the details over our website, theminimalists.com. We're going to answer your questions about money and minimalism. We're also going to have a meaningful discussion about family and debt and budgeting and whatever it means to live a meaningful life within the confines of how we use our money as a tool as opposed to, well, our money using us. So hope to see you there. All right, I'll see you next time. Take care.